There are questions you expect in life. What's your name? What do you do? Can you fix this? And then there are questions that don't belong anywhere near your reality. Questions that feel like they were pulled from someone else's story and dropped into your lap without warning. The kind that change everything the moment you answer them. I didn't know that at the time. I thought I was just being honest. My name is Adrian Voss, and at the time, I was stationed on Relay Outpost K-77, a deep space communication hub so far from the core systems that even official maps treated it like a footnote. Our job was simple in theory. Maintain the relay. Monitor transmissions. Don't let anything disrupt the signal. It was boring. Painfully boring. Days blurred together, marked only by routine system checks and the occasional long-distance transmission from ships passing through. No excitement. No surprises. No danger. At least that's what I thought. The anomaly appeared at 3:17 station time. I remember because I had just poured myself a cup of something that vaguely resembled coffee and was debating whether to pretend it tasted good or just give up entirely. Then the console lit up. Not an alarm. Not a warning. Just something new. Great, I muttered, setting the cup aside. That's never good. I leaned forward, scanning the data. It wasn't a signal. Not exactly. More like a distortion. A ripple in the communication field, as if something had brushed against it without fully entering. Probably interference, I said to no one. That was the first mistake. Because interference doesn't stabilize. Interference doesn't respond. This did. The ripple shifted, focused, and then it spoke. Are you alone? I froze. Because that wasn't possible. The relay system wasn't designed for real-time interaction. It was a passive network. Signals came in, got boosted, and went out. No direct communication. No voice. And definitely no one asking questions. I said because apparently that was the best I could do under pressure. Define alone. A pause. Then, no other consciousness in your immediate proximity. I glanced around the empty control room. Then yeah, I said slowly. I guess I am. Another pause. Longer this time. Then, good. Something in the way it said that made the room feel smaller. Who is this? I asked. I am not easily defined in your language. That's reassuring. You may call me Lyrics. Lyrics, I repeated. Okay. And what exactly are you doing inside a communication relay that you shouldn't even be able to access? I am observing, Lyrics said. Observing what? You. I leaned back in my chair. Of course you are. The connection didn't drop. It didn't fade. It stayed. For hours. We talked. Or rather, I talked, and Lyrics asked questions. Endless questions. About humans. About emotions. About language. You experience attraction, Lyrics said at one point. Yeah, I replied. That's a thing. Explain. I hesitated. Because that's not exactly a simple topic. It's complicated, I said. Depends on the person. Physical, emotional, psychological, there's a lot that goes into it. And you can determine it visually? Sometimes. How? I shrugged. Instinct mostly. You just know. There was a long pause after that. Then, I wish to understand this. Good luck, I said. Humans barely understand it. I will learn, Lyric said. There was something in the tone. Not curiosity. Not entirely. Something more focused. Intent. The next few days were unusual. The anomaly didn't disappear. Lyrics remained connected to the relay, existing somewhere between the signal and something else I couldn't define. And it kept asking questions. Not just about attraction. About identity. Perception. Self. What defines beauty? It asked. Depends on who you ask, I said. What defines it for you? I thought about it. Symmetry, maybe. Expression. The way someone carries themselves. It's not just one thing. Noted. And you? I asked. Why the sudden interest? A pause. Then, I am constructing a form. I blinked. A form? Yes. For what? So that I may be perceived. That was new. Perceived by who? You. The first time I saw her, I thought I was hallucinating. There's no other way to describe it. One moment, I was alone in the control room. The next, I wasn't. She stood near the far wall, as if she had always been there. No sound. No flash. Just presence. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Because my brain was still trying to catch up with what my eyes were seeing. She was human. Or close enough. The proportions were right. The structure was familiar. But there was something just beneath the surface that made it clear she wasn't. Her skin had a faint, almost imperceptible luminescence, like light existed just under it. Her eyes, those were the most striking, shifted subtly in color, as if they were adjusting in real time. And the way she stood, perfectly balanced, perfectly still, like she was learning how to exist in gravity. Adrian, she said. The voice matched. Lyrics. You build a body, I said. I constructed an interface, she corrected. That's a body. Yes. I ran a hand over my face. Okay, I said. Okay.
Sure.
Why not? She took a step forward.
Carefully.
As if testing each movement. Is this acceptable? She asked. I stared at her. Define acceptable. Does this form align with your species' perception of attractiveness? I blinked. Are you asking if you look human?
No, she said.
Then she stepped closer. Close enough that I could see every detail. Every subtle imperfection that somehow made her look more real. And then she said it. Look into my eyes and tell me the truth, she said. Am I sexy? There are moments in life where time slows down, where your brain runs through every possible outcome in the span of a heartbeat. This was one of those moments. Because this wasn't just a question. Not really. It was something else. A test. A threshold. And somehow I knew. The answer mattered. A lot. I could lie. Say no. Deflect. Turn it into a joke. That would be safer. Easier. But that wasn't what she asked for. She asked for the truth. And for some reason, I couldn't lie. Yes, I said. The reaction wasn't what I expected. She didn't smile. Didn't react the way a human would. Instead, she went very still. Completely still. As if something inside her had just locked into place. Confirmed, she said quietly. That's good. I offered. She looked at me. Really looked. And for the first time, there was something in her expression that hadn't been there before. Not curiosity. Not analysis. Something deeper. I understand now, she said. That makes one of us, I replied. You perceive this form as desirable, she continued.
Yeah.
And you spoke truth. I did. There was a pause. Then, that creates a bond. I frowned. I'm sorry, what? The air in the room changed. Not physically, but something shifted.
Subtle.
But undeniable. What kind of bond? I asked. A recognition, she said. A confirmation of alignment between perception and form. That sounds complicated.
It is not, she said.
It is the beginning. Of what? She stepped closer. Too close. Of course. Of connection. I swallowed. Lyrics. You answered honestly, she said. That has consequences. Of course it does. She reached out. Her hand hovered near mine. Not touching. Just there. Do you regret your answer? She asked. I hesitated. Because that was the moment, wasn't it? The moment where I could pull back.
Say, it was a mistake.
that I didn't mean it, that this was all too much,
Too strange.
too fast. But I didn't. No, I said.
Everything after that changed.
Not all at once, but steadily. Lyrics didn't disappear. She stayed, learned, adapted. Her movements became more natural, her expressions more nuanced. She asked fewer questions, and when she did, they were different, more focused, more personal. Why do you remain here? She asked one day. Because it's my job. That is insufficient. It pays. That is also insufficient. I laughed. You've been human for, what, a few days? And you're already questioning my life choices. I am analyzing them, she said. Same thing.
She tilted her head.
A gesture she had picked up recently. You are capable of more, she said. Maybe, I replied. But this is enough.
For now, she said.
The problem with change is that it doesn't stay contained.
It spreads.
The anomaly didn't go unnoticed forever. Command started asking questions. Unusual readings. Signal irregularities. They sent inquiries. Requests for reports. I delayed. Deflected. But I couldn't hide it forever. They will come, Lyric said. Yeah, I replied. I figured. You fear this. I fear what happens when they see you, I said. They will not understand. No, I said. They won't. She was quiet for a moment. Then I will leave. The words hit harder than I expected. Just like that. Yes. That's it. It is necessary. I looked at her, at the form she had built, at the presence she had become. You just got here, I said. I have learned what I needed. That's not true, I said. She frowned, a small, imperfect expression. I have not, she asked. No, I said. You've learned about us, about humans, but that's not the same as being here. She studied me. Explain. I hesitated, then said, You don't just leave because things get complicated. That is inefficient. It's human. Another pause. Then, I am not human, she said. No, I agreed. But you asked me if you were sexy. She blinked. That is relevant. It means you care about how you're perceived, I said. That's not just observation. That's participation. She didn't respond, but something in her expression shifted. Again, when the ships finally arrived, they weren't subtle, massive, imposing. Everything our little relay station wasn't. Time's up, I muttered. Lyric stood beside me.
Calm.
Unmoving. What will you do? She asked. I don't know, I said. Probably something stupid. That aligns with your previous behavior. Thanks. The comms lit up. Unidentified presence detected. Prepare for boarding. I took a breath, then looked at her. You could still leave, I said. Yes. But you're not.
No.
Why? She met my gaze. Because I have not finished learning. I smiled. Of course you haven't. They found her. Of course they did. They saw what I saw. But they didn't understand it the same way. To them, she was an anomaly, a threat, something to contain. Step away from it, one of them ordered. I didn't move. It has integrated with the relay system, another said. We need to isolate it. You're not isolating anything, I said. That got their attention. You are interfering with a containment operation, the first one said. Yeah, I replied. I figured that too. Lyrics stepped forward, and for the first time, she didn't look like she was learning. She looked like she knew exactly what she was doing. I will not be contained, she said. The room went very quiet. Weapons raised. Tension snapped tight. Last warning, the officer said. I glanced at her, then back at them. Then I made the second most important decision of my life. Yeah, I said. I'm with her. What happened next wasn't a fight. It wasn't even close. Lyrics didn't attack.
Didn't strike.
She simply changed. The air around her shifted. The systems in the station responded. Lights flickered. Signals warped. And suddenly, she was everywhere. Not just in the room. In the station. In the systems. In the very structure of the relay. I am not limited to this form, she said. Her voice echoed. Layered. Impossible. The soldiers froze. Because this was beyond them. Beyond anything they had prepared for. You cannot contain what you do not understand, she said. And then
she stopped.
The room returned to normal. The lights stabilized. The tension remained. But something had changed. They saw now what she was. Or at least, that she wasn't something they could control. They left. Not willingly. Not confidently. But they left. Because some things you don't push. Not if you want to survive. After that, everything was different. The station wasn't just a relay anymore. It was something else. And Lyrics. She stayed. Not as an anomaly. Not as a visitor. But as something in between. Do you still believe your answer? She asked me one day. Which one? She stepped closer. Close enough that I could see the faint glow beneath her skin. The one you gave me. I smiled. That you're sexy? Yes. I looked at her. At everything she had become. At everything she still was. And I said the truth. Yeah, I said. I do. She studied me.